Hey, I just wanted to do a review of JT Curtis Music's YouTube channel. Just wanted to do a review of JT Curtis Music YouTube channel. I know it's a mouthful. Um, I just discovered his channel a week ago, a couple days ago. Um, so I haven't really watched his other content, but what I have watched is his History of Rock and Roll documentary series. Is that what it's called? Yeah, History of Rock and Roll documentary, History of Rock and Roll series. It's sort of like a documentary, but there's jokes in between, and he has opinions. So basically, what he does, what JT Curtis Music does, is he goes through the 1950s, 1960s, 1970s, 1980s, 1990s, and the 2000s, and he goes through each decade, and he makes a video on each decade of music, and he just says all the great music from that decade, and then um, he uh, he has like kind of two. He has like co-hosts, um, and the co-hosts give their opinions about the music from the decade, and sometimes it's different than his opinion. It's funny. He has one co-host, which I'm like 99% sure is his dad, but he doesn't call him his dad. He just calls him that guy, and like. But anyway, so I'll call him his dad because I'm pretty sure it's his dad. Um, because he looks like him, he talks like him, and he same sense of humor, and I'm pretty sure it's his dad is one of the co-hosts. Um, and basically, like especially in the early episodes, his dad gives his memories of the 50s, 60s, and 70s music, um, and 80s music, and he says what it was like to go to Woodstock. He says what it was like to be there when the Beatles got there, and just what it was like when rock and roll got really big in the 70s or whatever. But basically, so he has like these co-hosts that each have their own personalities. He has this other co-host. I don't know his name, but um, he. But yeah, he really likes 80s music, but the main host doesn't really like 80s music at all. But it's funny how each of the hosts, each of the people have different opinions about the music, and it's a really good show, and they have really good jokes. You should watch JT Curtis Music History of Rock and Roll on YouTube right now. If you haven't seen it yet, you should watch it. I haven't watched what other shows he has on his channel. I might sometime, but I know that's a really good show he has on his channel. Um, and so yeah, so the things I like about shows like this is number one, I want to learn about new music, and number two, for music that I've heard before, I want to hear his opinions about the music, and I want to hear new new things I've never heard before about the artist. Which so he does both things. He introduces me to new music, and he shows me things I never heard before about the artist. And he hears opinions about the artist. So it's really educational for me because I get introduced to music. But I've heard of most of these people before. It's not that I'm very well educated about the history of music, so I know most of the people he's talking about. But then again, I get a review of okay, this is a 10 seconds about who's this artist. Here's 10 seconds who's this artist. Here's 30 seconds about why this artist was special, and I get these quick little snippets about what made each of these artists special, and I really like a broad learning about the music from a historical perspective, from a broad perspective, and I really appreciate that. And I've really enjoyed watching the series. It's almost like something you'd see on Netflix. Like the quality is almost better than like a show on Netflix or something. You could say it is better than a Netflix show. There are music shows on Netflix that I watch. Like there's like a show called The History of Pop, or it's called like Pop or something. Which that focuses more on pop music, whereas this show focuses more on rock and roll, which rock and roll and pop are kind of the exact same thing, and they're kind of a little bit different. Whereas on the pop documentary on Netflix, they'll talk more about the Backstreet Boys, or they'll talk more about Roxette from the '80s, or they'll talk more about Boys to Men, which is more of R&B pop group, which they he JT Curtis Music does mention pop musicians in this documentary, but it's not just about pop. It focuses on the rock and roll part of the music, so it's just good. I like rock and roll, but I like every genre too. But I like to focus on genres. I'd love to see like some YouTube channel do like a, I don't know, a 6-part documentary of 6-part show on the history of R&B music. I'd love to see just focusing on the R&B, and then do a little snippet of rock and roll in the middle of the show. Uh, but like I love to see someone make a show about this, but for R&B, just just talk for 5 minutes, 10 minutes on the Jackson Five, just talk for you know 15 minutes on New Edition. I'd love to hear someone go more in depth on the R&B side of things, whereas JT Curtis Music goes in depth on the rock and roll side of things, which is great too. I love the focus on the rock and roll. Um, I wish more YouTube channels did this. I wish they talked more about different things. I wish I was able to learn more about different things. I can discover that on YouTube, and it is there. It's just I have to find it, and it takes time to watch it. And I can't watch everything in one day. It's like Howard Jones says, you can't live your life in one day. Um, okay, so is that everything? So yeah, so JT Kurt's music. Yeah, he just talks about all the music. They have really good jokes. He's really funny. He and his friends. I'm pretty sure that's his friends. They're on the show with him, and I'm pretty sure they're in like cover bands together. And that's he has like his girlfriend and his friend's girlfriend, and they're all probably friends. And I'm guessing they're all in a cover band together because he can really sing. Okay, he can do perfect covers of all this music where the covers are just as good as the original version, but he adds his own personality to it, so it's cool. Um, so yeah, so he's not just like Ken Burns, documentary filmmaker. No, he does cover songs during it. The songs that he really likes, he does cover songs. Songs he doesn't like, he's not gonna do a cover song, but or whatever. But and he says why some music was more important than other music, which is really vital to hear him say like, oh, he didn't like Green Day at the time, but he likes Green Day now. I bet he started really liking Green Day in like 2000, well, particularly after 2005 when they started to be more political. He probably liked Green Day more when they started being political, and then he started to reappreciate the old Green Day from the 90s once he realized, oh, these people are really intelligent. They're not just making pop punk. They're actually really smart about what they're saying. But I think he really liked the 2000s Green Day maybe more than the 1990s Green Day. So that was interesting. I maybe like 90s Green Day more than 2000s Green Day because I'm more up into pop music. I'm more into pop punk more than I am into political stuff. Political stuff is great. I like political music, but uh, I'm more into pop. I like lyrics about nothing. I like a song about absolutely nothing, like a Backstreet Boys song. I want it that way. To me, that's a perfect song. I want it that way. It's a song about nothing. Nobody understands what it means. It's just catchy. It's just catchy, and that's the only thing that means anything to me is if a song is catchy. Um, yeah. So if you like rock and roll, you should watch JT Curtis Music's uh, Rock and Roll by the Decade, history of rock and roll, every decade that they talk about. So you should check that out, and I really appreciate him making that show. Um, so have you watched? Let me know in the comments below. Have you watched JT Curtis Music's channel? Do you like his channel? And uh, what are, what are you, what are your favorite parts of his history of rock and roll series? I really liked it. Let me know what you think about his channel in the comments below. Please subscribe to his channel, be part of the community, and please like the video. It really helps out the channel a lot. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.